So, what did we do to connect the unconnected? As our first proof of concepts, we brought internet access and solar to the most remote villages we could find, to people who have never been on the internet before. We went to the deepest parts of the island of Zanzibar to test our new way of providing connectivity alongside Mozambique, Kenya, and Tanzania.
First commercial telecommunications aerostat in Africa. It's at 300 meters above the ground. It effectively replaces between 12 and 15 towers on the ground.
World Mobile has chosen Reno as the first place of launch in the United States of America.
Our distributed and decentralized approach allows hosts and operators to own the network and partake in the revenue generated by it.
On the ground right now in Pakistan, we have air nodes being rolled out at a rate of about 2,000 nodes a month. We're creating a lot more prosperity for the country.
Welcome to the new frontier of connectivity.
Goosebumps, I tell you. Guys, welcome in here for another bi-weekly World Mobile live stream. If you can't tell by my face and by my excitement here, this is going to be one of the biggest shows that we've had to date. We went from having 0 guests to now having 3 guests here, and you're not going to want to miss any of them. Now, we have to keep the show here to a particular time frame, so I'm not going to take up any more time. After that amazing intro there, let me bring up today's guest. We've got Cal, aka Clover Nodes, and Rob, aka Trek Pool. Gents, welcome up. Happy Saturday. How are you guys doing? And keep it quick because y'all know we got to get this one rolling.
This is my favorite day. This is awesome. We just came from a great interview, and now we're rolling into the show. Right after with just some amazing people, some of my absolute favorites, not to mention you two, my absolute favorites. So great time.
Yes. We just got wrapped up with an interview here, and we've got, again, 3 key guests in the back. One of them, not necessarily affiliated, with the team, but she's provided a lot of content here. And just briefly, before we bring her up, of course, Cal, engaging there in the chat. I appreciate it. I didn't get to ask you how you're doing, man. How are you?
I want to keep it as short as possible because I want to put as much as time with our guests, but I'm doing so good. Super happy to be here. Very excited.
Thank you, as always, for making the time. Brief shout out here to the community because without them, we are nothing. We have Matthew Helton tuning in, Dreamin' Forest as well in the house here. Jeff, aka Delta Nodes. Looking forward to this one. I am too, Jeff. Thank you for making the time to join us here for this wonderful Saturday. Aaron Nodes. We got James Bowater in the house, man. This is awesome. Thank you guys so much for tuning in here. Mohammed in the house. Mads, longtime supporter here from literally day one in terms of DAP Central. Thank you so much. Richard, Enzo Nodes, Zero Thick, Mick Pfeiffer. And I can't even get through this entire list, man. Kristen, thank you so much here as well. Now, like I said, because we have to keep this quick, we have Mohammed, who must have a crystal ball, asking if we've got the WMTX lady. Well, that is the perfect segue into bring up our very first guest here, who is none other than, in fact, the WMTX lady. Welcome up, lady. How are you?
Doing great. Having a great Saturday with you.
Man, for the viewers, right? They might not know. Well, I know that they don't know, but we've just literally spent an hour understanding your contributions to the community, and how much you've really given here in this space. But I don't want to take away from that. So I'm just going to briefly tease this out here, guys. The WMTX lady brings a lot. I'll keep it to just that. But I want to give you the opportunity here, right, to maybe just briefly introduce yourself. You don't have to dox yourself, right? But just maybe share, right, with the community, if they're seeing you for the very first time, who you are, what you bring to the table, and exactly how you found World Mobile.
Yeah, so most people know me as the avatar on Twitter. So Cal reached out to me a couple of weeks ago, and he was like, "Okay, do you wanna do a live stream, meet the mobilers?" And I had the honor of being the first one that you guys interviewed. So thank you for that. Yeah, so we just spent an hour just going through a little bit my background. I've been working in telecoms in tech industry for almost 20 years now. So yeah, was into crypto Cardano since 2017, 2018, and discovered World Mobile in 2022. So we did a deep dive on that in the interview. So looking forward for you guys to see it all.
Yeah, I am excited to get that one out. It's going to be an easy edit because, again, you were such a wonderful speaker. You brought a lot of facts and a lot of substance, but I want to give Cal and Rob as well the opportunity, maybe just briefly give a word about their experience following the interview. And then we're going to go ahead and bring up two additional heavy hitters here that are a part of the official World Mobile team. Again, I am excited. But Cal and Rob, what are you guys' thoughts after a recent interview with the WMTX lady?
I got to jump in and say that everything you guys see online is 10x. WMTX lady is absolutely amazing. She brings in a lot of knowledge to the space, and we as a community are super, super lucky to have her on board. So I was blown away by this interview, and I want everyone to watch it when it comes out. It was amazing.
Same. I'm excited to see the product being released, so everyone gets to watch it, gets to know who you are, lady, and gets to experience all that, because it's such an extra layer, extra dynamic to what you already offer this community. It was an incredible interview, and it leaves me wanting more. Like, we want more of you on these spaces, on these shows. And so I think that after today's live stream, and after we get this interview released this week, everyone's going to feel the same way. It was incredible time, honored to know you, and just really excited to have you here.
Thank you guys again for having me. Thank you very much.
Anytime. And for anybody who has not followed the official WMTX Lady X account, link is now down in the live chat there. Please give her a follow. Again, a lot of substance here, and keep an eye out here on the official DAP Central and World Mobile Alliance channels, as well as X accounts there for when we release this highly anticipated interview. Again, thank you for being that introductory face for the Meet the Mobilers series. Okay, time to bring up the heavy hitters. Again, as we've mentioned, we've got to keep this one here on the rails. It's going to be a lot. And as always, if you're watching this live, which I love the fact that this man is engaging with us from behind the scenes, he's not going to need much of an introduction here, right? We're going to be talking about just that reclaiming power. Please make sure to smash that thumbs up. We want to get this out to as many mobilers and many newcomers, right, that may not be aware of what World Mobile is doing, which again is right there at the bottom, helping us to reclaim our power, our data, and our privacy. The opportunity to become educated, to become informed, and to join the official World Mobile community. So please, again, smash that thumbs up on the way in. Engage, ask questions, especially as we bring up our two big guests here. So without any further ado, I'm going to be bringing up and introducing none other than Mr. Telecoms himself, Mickey, aka Mr. T. Welcome up, Mickey. How are you, man?
Farid, I'm good, thank you very much. Clover, Rob, WMTX lady, how are you all? Hope all is lekker, as you would say where you're from.
All is good.
Yes, all is good, and all is even better now that we've got you here, not just with us live, but you've got your camera on, Mickey. So now we can actually see your face, and we can see how happy you are, right? Talking about all the new developments here that have been released by the official World Mobile team. However, it gets even better. We've got an additional member here from the official World Mobile team. I feel like I'm a
well, you're saying no, it's but wait, there's more.
There you go. There is more. We have none other than CB. And last time I confused him for somebody else, so I do apologize for that. This time I've gotten it right. None other than Charles Barnett. Charles, welcome up. How are you?
I'm fantastic. Thank you for having me.
Thank you for taking the time to join us.
I purposely wrote my full name today, so there was no confusion.
Thank you.
It's wonderful to be here, and I just want to say a big shout out to you guys for making this show so good. And I see new faces have joined, and the excitement around the alliance is still there. So fantastic. And WMTX lady, great to be here with you.
Yes. Again, this was supposed to just be the traditional show, myself or me, Rob and Cal, and somehow we've now got the WMTX lady and also an interview coming, and of course Mickey and now Charles. Now WMTX lady, we realize that we've just spent an hour with you doing your interview, and so at this point you are more than welcome to hang around. If you want to ask questions to the team, you have the opportunity to do that, but feel free to keep an eye out on that private chat. If you have to drop, that is completely okay as well. But we'd love for you to join in on the conversation. Again, you add a lot of substance here, and we don't want to take that for granted with the time that we have with you here. And so at this time, we're just going to be doing a deep dive, right? Maybe just a brief recap of all the recent developments here. And I think that there's no other better person to do that, right, than Rob. And so Rob, you obviously breathe World Mobile every single day. There's been recent partnerships with 51 nodes. There's been the release of core staking, just a lot going on in the community. And so I want to just give you the segue to maybe pose some of the first initial questions to Mickey and Charles. The floor is all yours, my friend. Go ahead.
Yeah, well, Mickey, we know that you were in Paris not too long ago, and we've heard a lot of things have been coming out of Paris. Charles Hoskinson got on recently so that you guys furthered some discussions about some telecom and some sidechain things with Cardano. We know that James Bowater was there. We know that Manny, the Web3 cat, the DePin cat, was there with you. We'd love just to hear more of a recap of what happened in Paris and what's come out of that that's led to some of these other breaking news events, if you wouldn't mind sharing.
Yeah, these events become so important to meet the community. I was invited there to speak, but beyond the community, there was also many heavy hitters there that will also be at Token 2049. And a lot of people want to integrate with World Mobile, whether that's on the World Mobile chain, whether that's to take the system as it is. That's actually a picture from MWC that you're sharing on the screen right now, not Paris, but that's when I had a bid. I actually didn't know I was going to go. It was a last minute thing. So my Josh from Minutes Network, my brother, he actually had a very bad accident where he cut his hands. So I was in and out of hospital with him for about a week, along with the rest of the family, just trying to make sure that the spread of infection hadn't got worse. So I had this huge beard, and I was rubbing alcohol all over it every time I came in and out of a hospital room. In the end, I just came home, I was going to trim it, and then it went. I was like, okay, well, I haven't got to go anywhere. And then James Bowater called me and said, I think you need to be in Paris. So I ended up in Paris, beardless, but it was a very effective time. I had a few hours on both days with Charles and with JJ and some of the IO team. Also sat with some other teams as well, Soda Labs and a few others. And it was very interesting to see their vision for the future and to cement our position in the place as the leading DePin. Had a lot of interviews as well with some leading publications, and there'll be some reports coming out. Our community is number one. A specific publication came into our chats, and they just couldn't believe, first of all, how cool the community were, and second of all, how they hadn't heard of World Mobile. So following this meeting, they decided that they're going to lead a study on what they think is the largest and the best DePin out there, World Mobile. So we were very excited to see that study. I'm very excited for any follow-on meetings that we have set up, many of them in Token 2049. I'm going out there for 5 days, 6 days, and I have meetings set up from 7 a.m. until around 8 p.m. most days. And then there's all the after events as well. So exciting times. Paris was great. Dubai is going to be even better, I think. And for World Mobile, we're plowing on very strong.
Poor Josie. I know she helps to manage your schedule, and I can only imagine how much of a job and a task that is. But jokes aside, I do want to take the opportunity. I think Jeff actually hit this right on the head here. Oops, there we go. That's the right kind of comment. Yeah, how is Josh doing, right? Because at the end of the day, it's great to talk about World Mobile, to talk about crypto, blockchain, Web3, but without our health, right, none of that happens. And so we hope that Josh is okay. If you're able to maybe just give us a brief update without sharing too much, obviously that's, sort of a sensitive thing, but just want to make sure that he is in fact okay.
Yeah, he's very strong, and he's through it. The first 1 or 2 weeks were touch and go, the major infection in the hand. But after that, he's recovering. A little bit of physiotherapy, but it's Josh. He's like me. He just stood there and he carried on working from the hospital and typing, and he's got much better at voice typing, I should say. But now his hands are working good and he's fully back on it. And yeah, I actually saw him a couple of days ago, and I'll go and see him again tomorrow before I head to Dubai.
And I want to jump in there, and I just want to commend Josh. When Josh had his accident, it happened on a Friday, and he was scheduled with the Minutes team to come on our live stream here on YouTube on Saturday. And he called me that morning, and he was so apologetic about, guys, I won't be able to be on camera. I'm really sorry. I just have to go back to the hospital for this thing. He was really downplaying the significance of the injury. And he was more worried about not meeting the expectation he set for himself with us, as if he was wronging us or offending us by not being on camera for this thing. And again, I just think that goes back to the character. Mickey, there's people that call themselves Watkins Maxis, where they just go after everything that you and Josh are doing, and we say, we want to support this, we want to follow this, we believe in you guys. And it's like what we've talked about. You and I have hung out several times, had private conversations. We've planned things and done things, and it's easy for me to say, I know Mickey, he's a great guy. I'm inspired by him, but when you see this kind of character out of you and out of Josh, where you're more concerned about not letting people down in the community, when you've said, hey, we're going to do this. I mean, Josh was literally at the hospital on the call with us. He didn't want to cancel it. He was just doing voice only, because like, it wouldn't be appropriate for me to, I don't want to scare anybody by being at the hospital. And the fact that he carried on with that, and it just goes to show how much both you and he, both co-founders of World Mobile, believe in the sharing economy, believe in this community, and realize that this community is what really makes World Mobile and Minutes Network special. And I think it's more than just this is a business opportunity. This is the people that you guys are. We see it with Josh, we see it with you, and I think that's what makes people love World Mobile, love Minutes Network, love these opportunities even more, is because we realize the people behind them are the ones that matter. I talk all the time about how Charles Barnett and Emmanuel Gratch are just some of my dearest friends, and I look forward to seeing you guys. I don't look forward to talking about, hey, give me the updates, give me the inside information. So I love you guys. I enjoy being around you, and so it's, I just want to just throw a little bit more praise on you guys, just because of who you are as people and how impressed I have been because of all this. So I wanted to thank you guys for that, and also extend that to Josh as well.
Thank you. We're the whole of the World Mobile team are beasts, right? There's no such thing as a day off. Of course, we do take some time off here and there, but it's never off, right? You're always speaking to each other. Even if somebody's away, we're speaking to each other. We're taking care of our duties. And listen, as long as we're breathing, we have to do what we said we were going to do. And what the reason that we do what we said we were going to do is because the world needs it, and someone's got to deliver it. So we're trying very hard to do so. Josh has branched off into his own sector, very, as you know, very symbiotic with World Mobile, and it's open for big partnerships moving forward. World Mobile for me is everything, and the community for me is absolutely everything as well. And without the community, we couldn't have done what we've done so far, and what we've achieved has been nothing short of beautiful. If you look at the video that you showed at the beginning of this, you said tingles, right? For me as well, every time I see it, and there you have 1,000 days uptime, and you had 13,000, 14,000 nodes. Look today. Look what's happened in the last 2 months, right? 3 months. This is why you wake up. This is why my family support me to do what I do. This is why my kids are okay to sit up here and have dinner with me whilst I work on the computer and talk, or I'm downstairs running around fixing things for World Mobile and speaking to different governments and countries. So I'm very privileged. We come from a lineage of warriors, and we also come from a lineage of academics. So a combination of both has brought us up to become who we are.
Thank you there, Mickey. And I'm just going to keep that video rolling there in the background. I do want to give our other guest, CB, the opportunity to maybe just give us a brief update as to what he's been working on and contributing to the World Mobile ecosystem and community as well. So CB, what's been keeping you busy as of late?
Sorry, fighting with the mute button there. Wow, you guys have been anticipating the launch of our cellular product in America for some time now, and we can safely say that that's going to be happening any day now. So all of the preparations for that have been keeping us busy, and of course, you've heard about HD1. That is going to be something quite spectacular and a true turning point for the world of telecoms and first of its kind. So those are the two most exciting things in my wheelhouse. But beyond that, you can see the growth that we're doing on the ground in Pakistan with the support of the air node operator community. I think I said in the video that we were rolling out at a rate of 2,000 nodes a month. Well, that video was taken 6 or 7 months ago. We're now more like at a rate of 8,000 nodes a month. So there's a lot of hard work going into that, and just generally, we have some exciting new countries that are going to be announcing. I won't say whole countries, but new locations that we're going to be announcing some great opportunities.
I sense a little bit of hesitation there in your voice, CB, and I'm not sure if that's because Mike is
Mike's
just lingering in
on
the
the
back.
line.
That's what I figured.
Yeah, I was just trying to remember what has already been disclosed publicly or not, so I was
No, that
holding
is
myself back. But
It's all been disclosed publicly, so just repeat what we already know. Just go ahead and say it. We won't be surprised.
Well, we spoke about the Philippines some time ago, and that's not just someday it'll happen. There's some active work going on in the background, and we're going to be announcing something really cool there. Also, in Africa, we have a new solution which is going to allow the world of air node operators to get involved in that region as well.
Thank you.
I'd like to take a second as well, just to say, I never really think I praised Charles Barnett, but actually, when it comes to the core, he's right at the core. If you check out the first ever video that we made in Zanzibar, I couldn't travel. Charles was there, that first ever air node that went up. Whilst we were planning and plotting World Mobile in the very beginning, Charles was there for every second. And he's behind a lot of the things that happen at World Mobile. He's not such a public face, slowly more and more. He doesn't like that video that you're about to show, but he's definitely deserves to be a public face for World Mobile. He's the best ambassador that we've got. He's a true co-founder, lives, breathes, travels around the world, has moved to the United States of America, but travels wherever he needs to be for World Mobile, and he gives it his absolute all. So he's a legend. He's also my family. But I love him very much, and the World Mobile community and World Mobile is very lucky to have a Charles Barnett. Not many people can say that they've got someone like this on their team.
Such kind words there from you, Mickey. I do want to give the opportunity to our additional guest here, WMTX lady. I mean, there's just been a lot going on already, right? But anything come to mind that you want to maybe pose to CB directly or Mickey while we've got him here?
Yeah, now that we've got Mickey here, maybe just a question. In one of the last EMAs, you mentioned the revenue dashboard. Will it also be tied into buybacks mechanism? So how do you foresee the planification of that and transparency surrounding that?
Yeah, everything. It's not just revenue. It will be every stat of the World Mobile Network. We spent the last couple of months working on a super API. So a lot of our systems, let me go back a little bit. So we've built World Mobile live in front of everybody, right? We knew that we could do what we said we were going to do. Otherwise, we wouldn't have gone out and done it. But we've built it live. It was started off with a proof of concept in Zanzibar, and then it went to Stone Town, and that proof of concept became bigger. And then from Stone Town, it spread to Kenya, to Tanzania mainland, to Nigeria, to some other places. And then all of a sudden, it was time to let the baby go. So we let the baby go into Pakistan, and it was a very scary moment for me in particular. Charles always had faith and belief, and I believed in him. I believed in our partners, but still very scary. Pakistan, 1 million+ users later, we're doing pretty okay there. And then United States. But what this meant is that as we were building, we were literally building as we were flying the airplane. And I'm not going to say it's much different today. It's maybe more professional, but now we've got all these different systems. So the last 3 months have been spent on bringing those different systems together, ready for the world mobile chain. So this super API that Antonio is working on will actually feed into every single element, even social. And that will be displayed on a dashboard, and you'll be able to filter by what you want to see. There'll be a main screen dashboard, and it will show everything that's there. So I'm very much looking forward to that, because I think that's going to be a great advertisement for how much we've achieved, and also for the community to track the progress. And beyond track the progress, HD1 allows them to influence the progress. So yeah, you're going to get more than you want.
Okay, great. I can do some detailed threads about it then. Then that's going to be great.
Your threads are amazing.
Yeah,
as good as anybody's. We're very lucky to have you in the community.
Maybe just one additional question, because when we did the interview, the guys told me, okay, if you could ask one question, what would it be? I'm always amazed that during the AMAs, your guys' visions, it seems like you're not 2 steps ahead, but you're like 10, 20 steps ahead. Even with World Mobile Chain, how do you see it evolving? Because I saw some snippets about like even decentralized energy being built on there. Like what's your long-term vision for it?
Okay, the EarthNode network is just as important as the World Mobile Chain.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, the World Mobile Chain is essentially the ledger. Okay,
Yeah.
Is it decentralized? Not really. Does it allow anybody to come and build without permission? Yes, that's great. That's fantastic. But for us, we see the EarthNode network being the core of everything. And then we see companies building on top of World Mobile Chain to access the EarthNode network, to be able to utilize those features as well. So the Dittos of this world, the GSMAs, many other users, they're going to come and build. They're going to come and want to create their own tokens potentially as well. We have already maybe 6 or 7 large companies that are asking us to do so. But we're very slow about this. And I don't mean slow. It's in that sense that it's going to take 3, 4, 5 more years. We're very cautious about what we do. And World Mobile has to be the first customer for everything, because World Mobile is the perfect use case to build these different elements. So once we've got everything working for World Mobile, we're going to open up the floodgates and we're going to bring everybody in. And that queue is absolutely massive, and it's growing every single day. And then we're going to see something that crypto has never seen before. And that's the reality. You know, a lot of people right now, oh, why doesn't the token move? I don't know why the token doesn't move. It doesn't need to move. Right now, what needs to happen is the fundamentals need to continue to get stronger and stronger. And like a good tree, like a good plant in nature, it always rises to the surface. So if the foundations are right, and World Mobile is ensuring, actually the World Mobile company is ensuring that the network, the infrastructure is able to serve these different purposes, we will shoot to the top of the sky. It's only a matter of time. So I think that one of the beautiful things about us as co-founders is we do have a vision, and we know how to be able to take that vision forward. But we also have a vision that's 20 steps, 30 steps ahead. And it's very frustrating sometimes as a CEO to know that you've got something that you want to push out, but you can't, because you're limited by resource, or you're limited by how much pressure you can put in your team. And sometimes people need weekends off, or sometimes people need to do stuff with their family. So you can't just consistently beat the hammer, right? Because that's wrong. But we walk the edge. Many of our staff will attest to that. But they're very happy. They're very happy to be working with us and to be able to see this vision. And I think that is what has kept people at World Mobile. So the 70-hour mandatory weeks pretty much is very unpleasant, right? And then some people are doing 100-hour weeks, but they're doing it because they see the vision, right? They see that we can execute, and they see that actually something special can come from this. And they also realize that the limit of time and their influence is now. Because once the EarthNode network is live, once World Mobile Chain is live, once all these SDKs and APIs are built, actually, they were so important in the beginning. But what becomes more important then is the community, is the people building on top of us. So this is our chance. This is our chance to make history. And then eventually it will go into a place where we all imagined, and I think where you all imagine as well. Because I believe one of the most special things about our community is the vision that we all have together. Like, we truly believe that we can connect 3 billion people. Only mad people can say that usually, right? But it's happening. As I said, we know thousands of customers per day joining the network. I don't know any other project in crypto except from onboarding to meme coins. I'm not saying they're bad. I'm not saying they're good, but all of a sudden you'll see a few thousand users jump in, and then you'll see them jump to the next project and jump to the next project. The people who are using World Mobile, they're not jumping anywhere. Our churn is so low. We're very fortunate to be in the position that we're in, and we're absolutely going to take advantage of that, take every opportunity that we've got to change the world, and to do it powered by the people.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's also what I told the guys. The fundamentals of World Mobile is just unlike anything I've ever seen in the crypto world. So I'm completely convinced, and I like the fact. Even I know as a CEO, like you said, you're probably limited by resources, by the stress that you can put on your team. But I like the motivation and the drive for ambition. So that's really cool to hear. Thank you.
Thank you,
Mick. I was wondering something about onboarding all those users, and you're growing World Mobile Chain, and we know that different companies are going to come and build on World Mobile Chain. Minutes Network is one. You're talking with other companies like SEW. As these companies come and they bring their user base, or they bring their connectivity to put all these things on the blockchain, do you worry about having too much information trying to go on the chain at once? I mean, at one point you talked about having Aya as a second chain, World Mobile Chain, Aya, doing a couple different maybe side chains to what you're building. How do we get billions of users on here and all that transactional data, all that coming onto the blockchain without just completely overloading it?
We adapt. We build what's fit for purpose. The Earthnode network is going to handle a lot of that load balancing. So that's really important. And the World Mobile Chain, today it's optimism, L3. In 2 years' time, it may be something different. It may be Aya, right? But we need to fit the service that we've got, and we need to make sure that we can provide for the people to build. But again, my major focus, although we have all of these partnerships coming out, you saw IABG, they're Europe's biggest defense company. There's a few more big ones coming out as well. You see PwC, they're all very eager to support and build, because they know what we've built and they admire us for what we've built. And we're making contact with people who, although come from the corporate world, in reality, they're changers. They're people that want change. So I'm not worried. I'm not worried at all about where we'll go. We'll adapt and we'll make sure it's good. The next step is to make sure World Mobile Chain goes live so that we can bring on our users and they can start to use the smart contracts that are being used right now on the private Earthnode network. And then we can do something very, very special. If you hear my son screaming in the background, he's telling me it's raining like crazy in Spain.
We do not. You sound loud and clear. I love the professional.
Not like the carrot crunching the other day from the Discord.
Well, at least we know you're getting your vitamins, right? So that's what's important. We need you at full function right now, because again, you are leading and steering a very, very massive ship. Now, I know that typically there's a little bit of caution about when. Right. Francisco, I think, has literally asked what you've just highlighted there, which is the World Mobile Chain. So when can we expect for anything to go live? Of course, sharing as much as possible without being embargoed.
Okay, so we've still got some problems with the L3. That's why we haven't gone live. There's not just problems that we have, it's problems that all other L3s have. So we have put up an L2 that is being tested. Big shout out to Nico, to Rick, to the Earthnode community that are DDoSing it right now and pushing it to the max that it can go, and the development team that have been working all day, and Blockchain Dolphin that has also been working all day and all night to push this out. If our results are good next week, I see no reason we can't go into Dev Mainnet and we can push our customers live. That's my aim. So I think we can do that.
Thank you. And I believe next we've got Cal, who's got a question here as well.
Absolutely. And I just want to make sure to mention to the community, obviously, when you hear Mickey say we might go live next week, I don't want everyone to go and put them to it like, oh, Mickey said we're going live next week. Like with development, there's always delays and things of that nature. And as you guys heard,
Mickey said it's his aim to go live next week.
Exactly. The aim, not we're going live next week. It's the aim. Like you got to listen, read between the lines, guys. Like listen to the actual words when people say stuff. I have two questions. First of all, first one, Mickey, I love your hat. I love your shirt. When are we getting the merch?
I've got some merch here. I've already promised Trident to send him some, so he's going to be one of the first models. Mike is working on the merch store. I think I said a few weeks ago that the World Mobile website is not complete. So there's still different elements that are under audit, that are under production, that are beginning to work. One of those is a merch store. So the merch store will be available. But if you can find me at Token 2049, I have 20 hats on me and 30 or 40 t-shirts. So whoever wants to be there and wants to send me a DM, I'm sure that we can meet up at some point and I can give you some early bird merch.
And whoever meets up with Mickey, I'm gonna just DM you my address so y'all can also ship me some merch. Seriously though, Cal, go ahead. I know you said you had two questions.
Funny. Yeah, that's funny. Second question is for Charles. Charles, is good to see you, man. It's good to have you here. We recently saw a number of videos in Pakistan, and I know that you're not a big fan of them, but I would like to say that you did a really good job with them. And I wanted to see and ask you, how are how things progressing in Pakistan? And what has been the reception of people on the ground with World Call and World Mobile? We recently saw World Liberty, getting involved in Pakistan. We saw that CZ is also, getting on board, onboarding people to Web3 in Pakistan. So obviously, no better time than to get the World Mobile message out to people in Pakistan and what you guys are building. But what's the reception of people with the network on the ground?
So there was a few questions there. I'll start with what's the reception? The reception is, as you see,
World Mobile reception is perfect.
Yes, a perfect reception, exactly. As you can imagine, some of these people are getting proper home internet for the first time, and you have businesses that are popping up. You have people being able to access information that they weren't able to before. So it's by the way, fiber, it was unheard of in Pakistan to the home, especially in the areas that we've been going to. So this is a real game changer for a lot of people. So they're everyone that we've had the privilege of doing interviews with, or who have been happy to share their stories, has been extremely positive. Our churn rate is much lower than what we initially anticipated. So that's obviously a positive sign as well. I think your first question was, how's it going? What's the growth? Well, I mentioned earlier, the growth is already 4 times larger than we said it would be 6 months ago. We have an amazing affiliate scheme that's going on the ground. So essentially, people within the communities we're building out in can go door to door and encourage customers to sign up. And that has taken off massively. We have, I think we had a record day of 800 homes signed up in one day from this affiliate scheme. And now we're launching this switch model, which is allowing certain Spark nodes to also transmit the Wi-Fi out into the neighboring locations. If it's in an apartment block, the whole apartment block can pay as you go to use it. If it's in a shop or a mall, other people can pay as they go to use it. So this is getting some excitement as well from the people that have bought the service, because now they're getting some cash back on what they've paid to use the service, and also from people that couldn't necessarily afford to buy the home internet, they can now hop on as they go. And thirdly, the Spark operators are going to see some additional rewards as a result, because there's now more revenue coming through their nodes. So that's exciting. And just seeing the growth and seeing the scale is we have a dashboard. We're able to update and see the statistics on a day-to-day basis. It's really exciting. So The next question you asked was, what with the recent news from people in the space like CZ, World Liberty, what does that mean for World Mobile, or what does that mean for Pakistan, and how do we get involved? Well, we are at the forefront of, well, I'd say WorldCall are at the forefront of technology in Pakistan. As a result, we get access to some of these conversations that are happening, and we are, huge advocates for crypto to become regulated and mainstream in country. And as a result, it's going to see an introduction of a variety of different services that we can push to our existing customer base and to others as well. There is no fixed timeline right now on when regulation is going to come, but it's there, and we are in and around that circle. WorldCall and also some other our partners who we've done business with and are personally good friends with for multiple decades are representing and flying the World Mobile flag as well. And these people are in high places. The agenda is coming mainly from the finance ministry as opposed to the technology side. So that's kind of the angle that is being pushed. They want to see this as a financial initiative. So yeah, we are well positioned. Obviously, as we are a crypto company. The end customer at the moment doesn't necessarily know that, but ultimately the underlying technology they're using is being powered by blockchain. So they are crypto customers, and as soon as that news is announced, well, we can say we are the first company in Pakistan to be advocating crypto and utilizing blockchain. So it's very exciting, and as Cal pointed out on one of his posts today, without internet, none of it's possible. So we're going to continue doing our job with the help of our community, with the help of our local partners, and get as many people online as possible, and the rest will come.
I think, if you don't mind me interrupting, Charles, for a second, I think that what's super important to remember is that World Mobile is not just a gateway for people for the internet. Every customer, whether they're from a franchise owner like WorldCall, they eventually will also become a gateway for projects that are building in blockchain to be able to utilize and reach out to real people. So the issue that we have in this industry is that it's very small, and it's really hard to bring new bloods to the table, and it's very hard to bring them to the table and then rug them and then expect more new faces to come in. But every single customer of the World Mobile network is actually a potential customer for projects that are building on World Mobile chain and other blockchains that we're partnered with. So it's kind of a two-way thing. Of course, it's the chicken and the egg. First comes the network access. And when we had 15,000 customers, couldn't really talk about this because it wasn't so meaningful. And then when we had 100,000 customers, it was like, okay, this is looking good. And then when we had 1 million customers, so we should be getting some attention as we are from these areas. We've been at the forefront in Pakistan. We took the leap of faith. We saw that it was the 5th most populous country in the world. We've been doing telecommunications for a long time with partners in Pakistan. So, what do exchanges want? Exchanges want customers. So we are the gateway, as an example, for those customers. If you can bring 3, 4, 5 million, 6 million customers to any exchange, it makes them or enables them to stay a leading exchange. So we're very excited for what is happening in Pakistan. As Charles said, we are at the forefront. We're everywhere. We're the only legitimate and first company in Pakistan to be running crypto. And the way that we've done it has been very smart, and our partners are very strong. And we're fortunate that it's come at the time that we're here.
Thank you, Mickey, and thank you as well, CB. I think you did a good job, number one, of remembering Cal's questions, but the number two, actually hitting them all on the head there. I just want to just remind the viewers here, if it's your guys' first time stopping by and you guys are enjoying content like this, please smash that thumbs up. It really does make a difference here, not just for me personally on the YouTube channel, but helps to also spread the word and the message about what World Mobile is doing here, helping us to reclaim our power, our privacy, and our data. Now, we have some questions that have also come in here from the community. And so, Mickey, this is just going to be sort of a quick lightning session here, but feel free to pick from any of these. So we have Blistering Earthlet. I'm going to roll through them first, and I'll give you the opportunity to let me know which ones you're interested in. Coming in, who's asking a little bit more about what's going on with the L3 versus the L2. We've got FL07HD asking if there's going to be another sort of partnership with a potential soccer club. And then we also have Zero Thix asking about any updates when it comes to the aerostats. And then Vincent asking about developments in Europe. So take your pick there. Again, we've got Blistering.
Sure. Blistering, I hope you enjoyed the Metallica concert. And thank you for the scan for points. I'm sure we needed it there. And I saw that you were around the stage and that area. The L3 is something that has been worked on. But we can no longer delay what the business needs. And with all these customers, the business needs a stable blockchain. So it looks like we will probably launch as an L2, and then we will carry on in the background work as an L3, and then we'll transition the chain when it's ready.
Thank you, Mickey. Let's see if there's any other ones you wanted to take. There's also another one about the potential. Oh,
it was
Charles,
the question about the football clubs. We are approached all the time from football clubs, top clubs. It's not something we're going to do this season, but it is. We think what we did with Fulham was excellent, and there might be other opportunities in either football or other sports in the future as well. And just on that note, we actually reached out to. We were reached out to by a professional athlete in the States who is actually following our project very closely and has been involved in the ecosystem in the background for some time. So once we are able to share that, I think it'll be very exciting for all of us.
And he reached out to us because he wants a solution. This is the nicest thing. He didn't reach out to us because he wants us to sponsor him. He reached out because he said, look, I've got this particular area in the United States of America with underprivileged kids, and I want to go and put up some air nodes. I've been watching your project. How is that possible? What do I need to do? So he's a pretty high profile name. He's been through a pretty hard time as well. But we're looking forward to being able to share light on the project that we're running with him as well. What were the other questions there that you had? Any updates on aerostats? Yeah, there are updates on aerostats. Even 3 days ago, we got the latest update from Mozambique, but it's nothing, unfortunately, that I can share yet. But there are other countries. There's an aerostat up in the US as well. And when the information is ready, we'll be able to come out with it. And I'm sorry if that's a frustrating answer, Zero Thix, but that's the only answer that I can give you. Isn't that right, Mike? No. I'm joking. He's not there. This unfortunately, this one's even above Mike, so I can't break any embargo.
No worries there, Mickey. I'm going to have to figure out a solution to block Mike's IP here so he can't tune into these streams. So y'all could share this alpha at ease or at peace, But again, seriously, on a serious note, thank y'all for just even doing this, because there aren't a lot of, there's a handful, I would actually say, of crypto project founders or just even company founders that take the time to be as involved and as engaged with their community, such as you guys have. So Charles, thank you from the bottom of our hearts. I've seen a couple of comments that have come out, in support of what you're doing, just sort of egging you on to continue on that route. Same thing with you, Mickey. We appreciate your guys' time. And for anybody who missed it, last week, I believe it was last week, we had, I want to say it was Nick Soper. Gentlemen, correct me if I'm wrong, because I know that there's two of them.
You're correct.
Okay. Perfect. And that was an eye-opening live stream. Again, the access that you guys provide to us here through the Alliance and just to the community, I think is what really makes y'all number one stand out. but it's also what makes people stick around, is because they have access to you guys, whether it's direct through DMs, which I know, Mickey, you're always responding to DMs, or even through things like this, where they can interact through the live chat. It's the fact that you guys make yourselves accessible that I think really brings a lot of value, but then also makes people stick here. World Mobile, without a doubt, right, is by far one of the strongest communities, and typically I would say within Cardano, but it's just that it's one of the strongest communities, period. Whether you're looking at base, Bitcoin, whatever the case is. And so I just want to just commend you guys for making yourselves available when you necessarily don't have to. You could be spending this time with your family. I know Nick, we spoke about this backstage. He was supposed to be going to another event, and he actually he got the wrong time, but he made sure to stick around and missed a personal event in order to cater to us. And that was by far one of the best streams that I've done. Again, just want to give you guys the kudos that you guys do definitely deserve. So there's a lot of additional comments that are coming in. However, I also want to include Rob.
Well, hold on
Cal
one second. Also, you've got family, and so has Clover, and so has WMTX Lady, and so has Rob. You know, and I've been very fortunate to meet Rob's family and Clover's family, and I've also met your other half as well. Farid, WMTX Lady, we haven't had the pleasure yet, but I'm looking forward to that. But the community, they're also tuning in. This is not just about us. This is not about some founder or some co-founders that they're on the level. Without you, we're not anywhere near as strong. I'm not saying we can't do. We've done things in the past, but what we're trying to achieve is something that nobody else has ever achieved before. We're trying to connect billions of people to a distributed, decentralized network. It's not going to be possible without you. So in fact, I'll flip it. It's our honor to be here. It's our honor to be answerable. It's our honor to be socializing with you when we can socialize with you. I wish we had more time as a team. Unfortunately, you know, an 18-hour day is the average at the moment, and it has been for the last 2 to 3 years. But it's our honor to be here. And I think I speak for Nick, I speak for Andy, I speak for Alan, I speak for Charles, I speak for Emmanuel, I speak for Antonio, I speak for everybody at World Mobile. Yeah, thank you very much for highlighting this, and thank you very much for making sure that the importance of what we're doing and the achievements of what we've achieved are there for everyone to see.
Man, your availability is already a huge bonus, but your humbleness and your attitude is really the icing on the cake there, Mickey. Again, thank you to the entire team. I don't want to hog the show here. We always have the love fest, but that's typically towards the end. I want to give Rob, Cal, and WMTX Lady an opportunity to chime in here as well if they've got any burning questions. Otherwise, I think that there's a couple that are popping up in the chat that I'm just sort of getting in the back until then. So any of you guys feel free to jump in.
Well, Charles, about 2 weeks ago, you went to Denver for a different conference. I was wondering if you wanted to share a little bit about that trip and anything that may have come out of your most recent time in Denver.
Yeah, funnily enough, it was at the same hotel where we were all together at the first ever Rare Revo, and it was not the same without you, of course, but it was a good event. The event was called the Competitive Carriers Association, where all of the mobile operators, not all of them, but most of the mobile operators in America were there discussing policy and discussing changes in technology. And it was refreshing as ever to hear from the other carriers that, you know, what we're doing is going to help them, and that they are, you know, applauding our mission, and that, you know, collectively with our business model and the help of the community, we can support the growth of cellular in areas where have typically been Shangri-La areas that these smaller operators were operating in, but the big three were coming in and trying to steal their lunch. So that was very refreshing. We also there's some movement going on with the US cellular announcement that had happened with T-Mobile, and certain I would say lobbying efforts to make sure that the the powers that be can't continue to monopolize the industry. We also were meeting with some other operators that want to roam with us that we're not already having roaming agreements with. So it was a good event, and there's a lot of stuff happening with 5G and other technologies that we're interested in and we're hopefully going to be at the forefront of as well. We also bumped into one of our antenna manufacturers that we were working with, or that we are working with, and we had some very good conversations there as well.
Thank you, CB. I appreciate that. And I just want to offer a friendly reminder here to all the viewers that are tuning in here. If you have not been here with us from the start, I realize we've been going for roughly about an hour. People are coming in, going out, etc. There are a couple of questions that I'm seeing in the chat, particularly about the aerostat stats. Those have already been answered. Mickey's also talked about expansions into different areas. And then I want to say there was also one other question, but the point that I wanted to make is that if you're just tuning in here, please take the opportunity. You can always replay this. And if you actually are joining in a little bit behind, you can actually, while we're live, go back, listen in, and then come back up. So I just want to just take the opportunity to briefly highlight the fact that some of these questions that I'm seeing have already been answered by Mickey. Now, I believe the WMTX lady also has a question here. And so I want to give her the opportunity to go ahead and pose that as well.
Yeah, thank you, Fareed. Just maybe for Mickey and Charles, I'm hearing that, okay, in terms of churn, it's good news. There's less churn than foreseen, but there were projections of having, by the end of 2025, 100 million daily active customers. Are we still on track for that? And when, in the upcoming months, do you really foresee to get that huge bump?
As we bring on the other partners, you're going to see explosive growth. We talked about explosive growth since 2018 in every presentation that we made, and we're starting to see it now with Pakistan. So as we bring on more franchise owners, but HD1 is also something that can achieve this. So the affiliate model that Charles was talking about in Pakistan, again, everything that World Mobile does, it does not based on assumption. Okay, we think that something is going to be good, but we have to prove that it's going to be good. And I think that model can be taken to the United States of America. That reward model and the way that we've managed to spread out. So with HD1, it actually puts the power in the people's hands, and then that's going to help. And that's going to start off in the United States. And as Charles said, we have a new solution in Africa with a good partner there that enables us to launch anywhere and everywhere, cross country, wherever we have the licenses. We're licensed in 6 different countries right now. So I believe it's very possible. Yeah, I'm confident that we can achieve something like 100 million users, potentially even more. But if we don't achieve 100 million users by 2025, it will be in the beginning of 2026. The growth projections are crazy, and we're doing everything we possibly can to push them forward and achieve them. Okay, great to hear. Thank you.
So, Mick, with that, and I know that I've kind of asked questions like this in the past, but, we all know the names of the main car manufacturers, the Fords, the Toyotas, the Hondas, but a lot of times, unless you are a mechanic, you might not know the manufacturer of the carburetor or the spark plug. Obviously, World Mobile has a number of different solutions for different areas. In the United States, you're launching your own network. Nice, free, good job. But you have, World Mobile's launching as a network. We're going to be subscribers to the World Mobile network. In Pakistan is World Call. World Mobile is like the spark plug or the carburetor there. It's a piece that helps extend the signal. Those customers are not World Mobile customers. They're paying customers of World Call. We're partners. We earn from them. Clearly, World Mobile makes more money off of a paying subscriber to the network than it is somebody who we're helping out with a partner like World Call. Where do you see the balance of supplying infrastructure and availability to other established companies versus starting our own telecoms network in places? Are we leaning more towards being a supplement or being a main telecoms provider?
First of all Pakistan customers are World Mobile customers. Okay, so anyone running a franchise of World Mobile is actually bringing customers to the network that are World Mobile customers. So I think this is very important, is to keep the customer. Hugely important, in fact. I see us enabling other mobile network operators, and that's kind of different business where we allow them to utilize our network whilst our sharing economy deploys that network for them, utilizing their spectrum or their assets. So there's a big element to this, like Ditto, for example. But for us, it's really important just to carry on growing as World Mobile. Yeah, again, I want the focus to be eventually all customers to be using the World Mobile chain, all customers to be utilizing the World Mobile EarthNode network, and all customers to be able to cross-pollinate, not just connect to the internet, but actually interact with the projects that are building on World Mobile chain. So very important for us to have our own customers.
I gotta get used to that unmute button there in StreamYard because I'm looking down here like I typically unmute. To that end, Mickey, there's a really good follow-up coming in here from Mohammed. And Mohammed, thank you. I know you've been asking some questions, and I want to take the opportunity to at least post one of them here. I did see some of your others back then, but you're asking about the users, which Mickey just got done talking about. And he states here, will bringing users on chain be an easy task? Do they need technical, background or knowledge in order to actually use the network? So maybe break down for us, like, what does interacting with the World Mobile chain look like for someone who's brand new, not just to World Mobile, but just to blockchain?
It's seamless. There's network wallets created for those users. They can claim those wallets whenever they want to be able to access them themselves or create new wallets on the system. In each subscription that we have, the payment is already, and the WMTX is already defined. So when you buy a subscription in the United States of America, part of that subscription is to have WMTX under the hood or overtly because you know about it. And then you're able to utilize all the benefits of the network as well. So whether that's VPN, whether that's data storage, whether that's looking up your identity, it all costs, right? EarthNodes get paid, World Mobile Chain gets paid for the transaction. So it's all bundled. Maybe we need to do a paper on this so it's a lot clearer. It's I see a lot of people saying, "Oh, I'm really worried about the WMTX utility." It's like, hold on, this is a token that has the most utility of any token that is in existence. There's nothing that has more utility or potential for utility than World Mobile token. So those that are worried, don't be worried, and those that don't understand, please try to understand. And I'm here. Clover is also a great proponent of explaining to people. WMTX lady, you also, but the rest of the community as well. I mean, if you look at the utility that tokens have, actually as a project, World Mobile is providing utility to other crypto projects because they have no utility. So that's one of the big things as well that we'll focus on in 2020, late 2025, is the MVNE, the Mobile Virtual Network Enabler. So EarthNodes will be a big part of that. And projects that are struggling to engage their community beyond the single core fundamental, are all of a sudden able to sell SIM cards with their own brand name to their community, right? If you buy the hat, I'm wearing the hat, I bought it as well. If you buy the t-shirt, I'm wearing the t-shirt, I bought that as well. And you buy the calendar, why not utilize your favorite brands every day? Brand affinity is really, really important. So I think there's hundreds of thousands of customers from different crypto projects. We're already in talks with 5 or 6 big ones in the top 50 as well, some of them. In fact, some of them are even in the top 20 that are looking to reach out. So utility, we are utility maxis. We're telecom. Telecom is a utility. So being able to use WMTX throughout seamlessly or overtly, actively is a push. Eventually, of course, it makes the most sense for everybody to be not just using it seamlessly, but actually using WMTX and the blockchain ecosystem. That's how this becomes extremely valuable. Right now, it's very valuable, but extreme value comes from people interacting and purchasing and buying different things across the World Mobile chain and utilizing the EarthNode network and utilizing air nodes to access.
Mickey, and thank you, Mickey, and I hope that answers your question there, Mohammed. To my fellow co-host, if you guys have any questions, you guys are more than welcome to jump in. Otherwise, I've got a couple start here from the community that I'll also go ahead and quickly post to Rob. Go right ahead.
Yeah, I'll jump. And Mickey, you talked about traveling to Dubai for token 2049 here, and it was recently announced that World Mobile is going to be at Rare Evo, and that you're going to be one of the keynote speakers for the event. And so I wanted to point out, if for people that are interested in going, we know that Minutes Network is going too. We actually have a code to get 10% off of tickets for anyone who wants to go. If you just type in WMTX in there, you get tickets off. We've done hangouts, we've done events in the past. Every year, the Alliance, Cal and I have really focused on trying to find ways to get the community involved. Last year, we went and saw Penn and Teller after the event was over, but before the after party, so people just had more opportunity to hang out together as a group. We've done Earth Node operator meetings. We've done several meetups and events. And Mickey, I know that it's still rather early. You tend to do a lot of these travel and the planning things kind of last minute. I didn't know if you had any thoughts on Rare yet, or anything that you're excited about for Rare, which is, it's still 3.5 months away. But we're starting to brainstorm and plan, and knowing that you're going to be there and participating in everything. What has you excited for this upcoming event where a lot of the community members are going to be?
Yeah, we're planning to make a very large announcement at Rare Evo. We're going to hold it back. Meeting the community again, hanging out with you guys and ladies. That's going to be always a joy. But of course, I like to support Rand as well. He's a cool guy, and they've really taken it a level. I remember they first spoke to me in Consensus 2021, maybe 2022, and they were really just starting out. And then I remember attending the first. I didn't attend the first one, I couldn't, but the second one, and then the third one last year was really, really strong. And this year, I think they're double the size again. So I'm impressed with those guys. I love to support them, but selfishly, I love to be around the community, to be able to go out for dinner, to have a few drinks, to talk. And I loved you setting up the workshops. So we'll also be speaking about those workshops. We should definitely organize those. And last year you let me down. You made sure there was no guitars or any music there. So this year, Rob, I need you to be really strong and make sure that we've got an open mic so that we can have a jam, we can have a drink together, tea or coffee or a beer, and we can play some music, because music is the language of the soul for everybody.
We're gonna bring a mic and speaker on the booth. Just FYI. So get ready.
Nick, I'll make a commitment. I will bring my Taylor. If nothing else, I'll bring my Taylor acoustic, so you have something to play.
I've got a couple here in the background. I've actually got a Taylor baritone. I don't know if you know what that is. It's got 8 strings.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So it's crazy guitar, but I love my acoustics, but I also love my electrics.
I just got my 514 is that's my Taylor of choice.
Yeah, it's beautiful.
But so what we'll do is we'll talk, we'll plan things, because that's the thing. We want to make sure that there are things going on every day, even before the event starts, so everyone has an opportunity. I remember the first time we met, Mickey, I was extremely nervous, but this was Denver 2023. It was when we were still the Earth Node Alliance, and Cal and I had a couple of shirts made up. We talked to your people and made sure we had a shirt for everyone in the right size for all 7 of you guys that came to Denver. And I had them in a bag, and Cal had seen you earlier in the day, and I was all pissed off because I went to take a nap, and he's like, no, Mickey's there right now. So I ran downstairs to the show floor while you guys were setting up your booth, and I had this bag of Earth Node Alliance X World Mobile shirts. And I remember walking in there, and you had your back to me. You guys were all setting things up, and I walk up, and like super sheepishly, we've been doing the show for a year at this point, and but I've never seen your face. We'd never talked before, never met. And I walk up, and I'm like, excuse me, sir, my name is, and you like, Rob, and you literally bear hugged me and picked me up. And it was at that point I knew more than anything just how much you pay attention to this community, and how much you follow us, and you know what's going on, and how important the community is to you. Because maybe other than seeing a tweet with my face on it, we'd never met before, but you knew all about me. You knew me on site, and that was a huge highlight that I felt really helped catapult me even more into community building, and just the access that we have to doing things to help World Mobile. So, huge highlight there. And I know that there's other people that have similar stories and experiences of meeting you in person for the first time, and just what a thrill that was. Not that, we're not trying to put Mickey on the pedestal here. It's just how inviting and welcome you make everyone feel. And that's what I love about these events, is we have the opportunity to really experience that with you.
It's reciprocal. I get excited to come and to be with everybody and to talk and to let a little bit of alpha out, especially if Mike isn't there. And then, but I think some more workshops this year would be great. That would be, we can start to talk about stats and how we're seeing the growth. I think it's important for us to all understand where we've come from and where we are today. And my keynote will be around that as well. So I won't bore everyone with a big announcement. This is just like a boom. Everyone's going to say, "Wow, that's very cool." But I think that my keynote will be about where we are now compared to where we came from, and you as the community, us as the sharing economy, that have got us here. And as you know, I never prepare for any keynotes. That's the most preparation I've ever done. Is thinking in advance. But I'm one of those guys. I don't go on stage with a piece of paper. I don't know what I'm going to say before I'm going to say it. I feel the crowds, and then I start to speak. And thank God, I'm able to channel some good energy, and people don't find me too boring. And we're able to go and have a drink afterwards. So yeah, Rare Evo is really exciting to support the boys there, and also to come and meet the community again.
Well, last year we were walking into the stage for your speech, and you said, "Hey Rob, what am I talking about?" I'm like, "Well, here's what the program says your speech is supposed to be about." I don't know.
I don't think I did what the program said either. But
all right, guys, I'm looking forward to that. I will say I'll take care of Mike, right, so that we're able to share and talk about things freely. Anywho, there are a couple of questions that I want to just take the opportunity to briefly highlight. One of them coming in from James Bowater, and there's also another one coming in here from Jeff, aka Delta Nodes, asking about low Earth orbit satellites. Now, the first one coming in from James is related to AI inference and how that can be supported with the World Mobile chain. So he believes that that's a fascinating use case. Mickey, are you into AI at all? Have you been keeping up with that? Any thoughts about, how we can expand the usage of the World Mobile chain for AI inference? For me, I know ChatGPT, and I'm wondering if maybe they can run some of their calculations and stuff like that on the World Mobile chain. James, feel free to maybe clear up anything that, I may have missed there in asking your question.
yeah, sure. Of course, we're into AI. AI is able to streamline and support a lot of the operations that we're doing. Josh and I have been building AI for 20 years in our workforce. The World Mobile's a company that we have that has a lot of employees, but previously Josh and I were able to work and enable our companies to be far more efficient by automation and intelligence. So yes, and do I see the Earth as being a huge part of that? Yes, absolutely. What will be the first use case? We'll be detecting spam on the network, not just for World Mobile, but also for, again, I cannot say, but you know who we work with. So you just need to look up where World Mobile has been given awards and who they're accredited by. So detecting spam is a huge thing. Stopping robocalling is a huge thing. And you need some form of intelligence for that. But actually, for a purpose for us, when someone has a problem with a telephone, it's nice to speak to someone, right? I'm not saying speak to a person, but it's nice to speak to someone and to be able to solve an issue. So AI can do 98% of the work that we need to do, whereas typically in the past, we've had call centers with 200 people or 300 people. If we're to connect 100 million people and then 200 million people and then 500 million people and 1 billion people, which I fully believe we will, then we're going to need some heavy duty call centers to be able to support. Most problems exist between the chair and the keyboard, right? So in this case, most problems exist between the chair and the phone. So a lot of those you can fix. Yep, Singularity are pretty cool. James is also working on some cool stuff with AI, specifically for encryption, but actually has multiple purposes. But it's, as always with James, it's way out there. It's 20 years, 30 years ahead of anybody else's thinking. There's probably 3 or 4 people on the planet that are working on that now. but we're going for a more practical use case that we can implement. We actually have some of the EarthNode team, they're big time into AI. So a lot of that thought process has been developed from our vision and then their ideas. And after we've released the VPN service, then we'll be looking to jump into the AI, and that will give the opportunity for some EarthNode operators to really bulk up their machines and start to offer it. And when we say AI, we're actually talking about real world use case of AI that will pay, rather than AI that at the moment has an idea that it can be built and people can rent GPUs and somebody's going to come and buy them. And I think over time, sure, those companies, there's a chance, but World Mobile has a real world use case for it today, and we'll be releasing that on the EarthNode network.
I really love the use case that you just mentioned about stopping robocalls. I feel like for me personally, I've been getting a lot of spam, and something like that I think would be a service that not only could sell, but has a huge impact to a lot of people, because I just get spam calls 24/7, and half of them I don't even look at my phone if it's not like an area code that I recognize, because 98% of the calls that I've been getting in the last month have just been nothing but junk and spam calls. So I think a really good use case
There's
there.
about 1,000
By the way,
companies
we're
in
at the
world.
forefront of working on something now with World Mobile and a regulated firm within the NTIA and GSMA, where we're going to be one of the first use cases to have the ability to see a company name and logo associated to a number that's coming into your phone. So if a call is being made to you from a bank or an insurance company, it will actually show the name of that bank or the insurance company with their logo. And
Verified on chain.
That'll be verified on chain, exactly. So that's something that is being pushed, and we're excited to be part of it. Just to also add, we were just discussing yesterday that maybe the first iteration, or maybe 1.01 launch of the HD1 is going to have some AI powered governance involved as well, where we're going to be able to assist in decision making around business plans that are presented for people that want to build out their own networks, and AI will help to determine the profitability and benefits of these networks.
I just saw now a message come up that Android 13 blocks what it knows. So intelligent people that are looking to profit from malicious activity, they make sure that those numbers are not known. So it can only block what it already knows. What we've done is we sit at the front layer, and this is a collaboration with Minutes Network as well, and we're able to recognize patterns and behavior and then block accordingly. So we don't block what we only know, we block actually what is malicious, where it's coming from, the IPs it's coming from, the routing path that it's using, the SIP headers, and a lot of other information that we're able to then collate, pull together, and then protect in the future. So, of course, it needs to be seen once on the network or twice on the network, and then we can stop it affecting tens of thousands of people. Billions of dollars are lost annually to fraud calls, for example. So you'll receive a telephone call from a different country, you'll call back, somebody will be on the line, and then you've been charged $5 or $10. And then many people don't realize that, and they just miss it in their billing. And unless you complain to your provider, they don't know. So they have no way of stopping it either. So spam, SMS, spam, telephone calls, it's not just about receiving a message or an advert, or that, this is the easy part. The hard part is understanding who you're calling back, or the understanding is who you're SMSing back. We've seen cases where people have lost tens of thousands of dollars on their telephone bill, where they've called back a number 20 times and replied to some spam, or they've had their assets drained in certain ways. So we're at the forefront of a lot of security with telecommunications. We have some really cool people and founders who are advisors at World Mobile, and great partnerships that are able to take level. But what the world needs right now is an ability to be able to stop this kind of malicious activity and to stop bleeding billions of dollars out of consumers' pockets. There's no different to the rugs that are happening in crypto, right? It's no different to what was happening with credit cards when credit cards first came out, Visa and MasterCard. So, but it takes a long time to protect the consumer. So one of the things that we want to do is be able to protect that consumer, certainly on our network. And if we can do it on our network, then we'll offer that service to, as Charlie said, the GSMA and multiple other leading institutions to be able to put this technology inside their networks too, all running on Earth nodes.
That is massive. I just have to be mindful of time here. James, thank you for opening up the AI rabbit hole there. I feel like we have to get you guys back on for part 2. This has been a jam-packed show. I'm going to squeeze in one last community question because there's just too many now. I felt like people were a little bit shy before we got rolling, and now there's just too many questions for us to take. But as I get ready to pose this question coming in here from Jeff about low Earth orbit satellites, hopefully I got that right. I do want to just give Mickey a heads up, WMT lady a heads up, and CB a heads up as well. If you guys could just prepare your final and closing thoughts. We've got roughly 15 minutes left here. But I want to just briefly jump back to this question here from Jeff, who asked, there was an article posted on X recently that basically stated that the growth of low Earth orbit satellite networks need an equal amount of growth in terrestrial or ground-based networks. Do you see that as actually being true? And if so, how could World Mobile play a piece in the terrestrial ground portion of the network?
I think we are the piece right now in that. You can see that from the North Carolina videos. You'll be able to see that from HD1 in Africa. We have very good relationships with low Earth orbit satellite providers. It's very well documented that we work with Starlink. We have a very good relationship with them directly. So we demonstrated that this is the case, that you do need a terrestrial network because a satellite has its limitations. It's great as backhaul. It's great as a single device that you can have on the side of a mountain. And yes, it's connecting, 10, 20 million people, 25 million people worldwide, but it's not suitable yet and may never be to connect billions of people. It also may not be cost effective to use it. The satellites, they have major issues at the moment. The atmosphere erodes them very quickly. They fall out of orbit. They need to come down. You need to push them up. They're still, I won't say not profitable, but I'd say still very expensive way of utilizing connectivity. And that's why, for example, the T-Mobile deal that's recently come out with Starlink, they're only offering SMS, and they may offer voice and data in the future, but it's going to be on a priority basis. Right now, if you wanted to have Zoom calls using this direct to handset, you could probably fit around 8 Zoom calls live on one satellite. So there's a lot of innovation still to come. No doubt it will come. I'm sure it will. But that doesn't mean for World Mobile anything but greatness, because World Mobile needs to build out the terrestrial network or the low altitude network in order for satellites to really have their true potential. We've lost you, Fareed.
I apologize. I'm working on my music today. I'm gonna have to practice off air. Thank you there for the wonderful response there, Mickey. I just want to remind the community, right, before we jump into the closing thoughts from our 3 guests here, and Cal and Rob, I apologize. We're going to have to cut you guys off here for today. No closing thoughts from y'all. I want to respect your guys' time, which is why I want to just really quickly roll into this. Just as a brief reminder to the viewers here, as we get ready to wind things down, I'm seeing a lot of really good questions. We've got Joe Fan asking about CZ, by definition, asking about partnerships and announcements. I think there was another one here recently. But the point is, guys, and ladies as well, if we have not gotten to your questions, please check out the description down below. If you're watching on X, I believe there should be a way for you to do that, but definitely on YouTube, check out the description down below. There are all the official links to World Mobile, as well as how you can join the World Mobile community, whether that's through Telegram, Discord, or even X. You'll get access to their community managers, and you can also get access to ambassadors, for example, like Clover Notes and Rob, aka Trek Pool here. And of course, you're always welcome to reach out to the Alliance if you have any questions about how to, number one, join the community, or just any questions about how to become a contributor, right? Whether that's through purchasing a Spark Air node, or even purchasing something like an Earth node. So please check out those links down below. Join the World Mobile ecosystem, become a contributor, and of course, again, go ahead and reclaim your power. Now, as a gentleman should, we're going to let the ladies go first. And so WMTX lady, what are your final thoughts here? It's been a long day. You've been on a stream with us, or at least on camera with us for the last 2 hours, right? So you're officially a YouTuber. Give us your closing thoughts here as it pertains to your interview, and of course, getting to hang out here with Mickey and CB. And then next, I'll come over to Charles, and then we'll close out by getting final and key takeaways from Mickey.
Yeah, this was supposed to be a little cameo of 5 to 10 minutes, but I stayed around because like these spaces are so inspiring to hear everything what's going on with Dev Mainnet. We are making a lot of progress. I hear the team is working hard with the phone plans in the US going live also soon. So yeah, you just kind of like stick around. I always get pumped with excitement when I hear everything that's going on. Like Mickey said, I know that there was some FUD today on Twitter, but the fundamentals are really there for this project. It's something that crypto has never seen, what is being built here. So yeah, my Saturday evening is, because it's evening already here, but yeah, it was a great call. Thank you guys for having me again for the interview. And I want to thank you all for all the effort that you also put in each week. So thank you.
Thank you for the kind words. And I believe Rob and Cal would definitely reciprocate in saying that we appreciate you dedicating your entire Saturday to us and to World Mobile as well. And I want to just reiterate here what Mohammed said. WMTX Lady has asked some really good questions. Invite her more back to the show. And we said that to you before he even said that, right? So that's, I think, a little bit of confirmation. The door is always open. Cal, thank you for opening that up here and introducing us to the WMTX Lady. All right, CB, the floor is yours as we get your final thoughts.
Hello?
You're good.
Yeah, can you hear me? Okay, good. My final thoughts are big thank you to you guys. Mick has said in way better words than I could. But as you know, we are truly appreciated by the team, and the community is everything to us. So thank you so much for everything you do, and thank you for having me today. I would like to have a small call to arms, and if there's anyone you know in our community that is based in Honolulu, then please do ask them to reach out. There is some exciting opportunity that we're looking at, and we need some access on the ground there to help spread quicker and kick things off. Now, there's one thing I didn't mention as well. There was a lot of talk in the community about why is World Mobile not getting involved in Wi-Fi offloading? Some of the other DePin operators are seeming to be monetizing that. We have done a lot of research, we've done a lot of tests, and we are equipped to do that. But the commercial opportunity is still not quite there yet, and we are pretty sure that anyone that's claiming that they're making money from Wi-Fi offload is talking in small numbers. But if for anyone that is interested in getting involved in that, we are ready to do such a thing. We just are focusing on what is going to bring the most value commercially to the community. So that was just a
Charles,
side note, but thank you very much.
If you're saying that you need me to fly to Honolulu, just let me know when and where. I'll meet you there. It'd be a great time.
Well, we can all go together, of course. That the opportunity, we're looking for someone local there. So just seeing who in our community is there, we'd love to talk to them.
I'm actually in Honolulu right now, so feel free to just let me know what you need and I'll get it done.
Are you really?
No, I just need the alpha.
Okay. Nice.
I'm just teasing. All right, Mickey, you've got roughly 3 minutes. The floor is yours. CB, again, thank you very, very much for all that you do.
Okay, so we've managed to build a mobile network that started with Wi-Fi, that then went to fiber, that then CBRS, which everyone told us couldn't work, with then Band 71 and the Titans, and we've managed to make it all work. We've also managed to make aerostats work. We're very excited for what's about to come, what you're about to see in the United States of America. It's a massive, massive opportunity for all of us to be able to actually take place and market share. And T-Mobile, AT&T, Verizon, you may be listening to this, but yes, I believe that we can take a market share in the United States of America, but we can't do it without you, the community. So keep up the great work. WMTX lady, thank you very much. There's hundreds of people that are putting out their information. There's also hundreds of people putting out their misinformation. We'll look to remedy that, and we'll look to produce good communication as soon as we've managed to get these products out of the lane. We have a lot that's at 98%, but as you know, the last 2% is always very, very hard, especially when you're perfectionists at World Mobile. So we're looking forward to the releases that are happening. I can't say that, but you can, Clover. And we look forward to being able to share this with you and to carry on this journey. And remember, World Mobile isn't here for just one bull run. I think the whole of the crypto world is going to stand up and recognize us. They have to for what we're doing. And I'm looking forward to World Mobile Chain coming live, so people wake up and they see on their terminals millions of users on this blockchain that they've never heard of, and they look through and they start to see and they start to meet the community and then realize the impact that this project can make, both commercially and for humanity. And it's a really special position to be in as a CEO and as a founder, to have found that virtuous cycle that allows us to do something so strong for all of us, not just the unconnected, because remember, that's how we started, connecting the unconnected and then serving the underserved. But all of us listening today on this call, we're being exploited. The connected world is also being exploited. We need to be able to reclaim our power, and we're the people to push that forward. And Charles said something very important in his AMA recently. He said, World Mobile deserves to be across every ecosystem because it needs the support of every crypto person in order to change the world. And that's what we came in this for, everybody, to change the world, because we were unhappy with how it happened. And when Satoshi gave us something to believe in, we believed, a few of us. And then all of a sudden, many of us believed. It's us that can change it. It's us that can rebel. It's us that can reclaim power. And World Mobile is the perfect vehicle for that. So WMTX lady, thank you very much. Farid, thank you very much. Rob, thank you very much. Clover, thank you very much. I wish you a great afternoon, great morning, a great evening, wherever you may be. And remember, together, we're unstoppable.
Ladies and gentlemen, that will bring us to the end of today's show. A jam-packed one for anybody who didn't catch the entire one. You definitely want to make sure to start this one over and listen to it all the way through. Tons of alpha. And again, we have 3 huge guests here that have contributed and dedicated their time to World Mobile in the community. Again, I think I speak for Rob and Cal here in saying, Mickey, from the bottom of our hearts, thank you for joining us. CB, from the bottom of our hearts, thank you for joining us. And WMTX lady, thank you for taking and dedicating this Saturday to World Mobile in the community. That will bring us here to the end for today's stream. By far, one of my favorites. You are welcome. You're welcome. It's hard to say that after the stream last week, right? But you guys have given Nick a run for his money, and I think that everybody here does agree. Again, if it's your first time stopping by the channel, links to everything down below. Smash the thumbs up. Subscribe for more. Follow the Alliance. Follow World Mobile. All the important links are down there. And as always, we'll see you all in the next one. Cheers, everybody. Take care.